Hello, everyone. Here's a little video clip on hopefully some helpful tips and tricks when Alias does the opposite of what you want it to do. It's quite common that some of the automatic trimming operations fail, especially when using the round command. So what we see here is a model with rounded corners like so, and a round that goes all the way around it like that. And as you can see here, Alias has failed to trim this round, so it actually is extended all the way out here, which is something that we don't want. Same thing in the other end here. And if we put some shading to it, we can, well, obviously see that the top surface has been trimmed in a incorrect way. Also, if we look at the corner over here, you can see that there is actually a hole, a gap in between the round surfaces. We're going to look at some methods to fix all of that manually, so you don't have to redo your round operation. So if we start at this very end here, we're going to look at a way to actually cut off the extended part of the round here. And to do that, first of all, we're going to try one method using the Object Edit, Attach, and Detach tool to cut the surface off. So I click Detach, and I click on the end here, and you can see I get a white isoparam light lit up here, which I can move along the surface and decide where I want to cut it. I'm going to move that close to the area I want to cut it off, and then I'm going to hit Control and Alt to snap it onto this curve right here, and then click Go. Now I have actually two surfaces, one right here that I wish to keep, and another one at the very end that I can delete. So now my round surface goes here and it actually ends here. It hasn't even been trimmed. It actually ends here and connects to this round right here. And if we shade those up, we can see that they actually connect, and it looks pretty nice. Like so. The other method of doing the same thing, basically, is to actually trim the surface. And trimming a round is no different from trimming any other surface. So what we need to do then is to take this edge of this round right here and project it on to this surface here, and then trim it. And to do so, I first select the surface, like so. I go trim, no, sorry, I go project, and make sure I project this curve in the normal direction of the highlighted pink surface right here. So I make sure I have the normal option checked here before I go ahead. Once I've done so, I can click on the curve and then click project. I now have a curve on surface right here that I can use to trim off this extended part right here. So I go trim, click on the surface, click on either the part I want to keep or part I want to discard. And in this case, I want to keep this part right here and keep. And it does, at least it appears to have done the exact same thing as in the other end, because it looks very nice. And if we can follow the model, we have a smooth transition there. Only difference now is that this surface here has been trimmed in this end, which means that it has kept the information, and we can see that by hitting the CV points. you can see that the actual surface goes all the way out here, but it has been trimmed using this curve on surface here. In the other case where I use detach, the actual surface ends at the point I want it to end. Practically, that has no really significance to it. It doesn't matter which method you use, normally at least. So you could use any of these methods. Now we're going to look at a third way of connecting two surfaces that somehow aren't connected. And we're going to look at the gap we saw in this corner here. So if I, to remind you, once again, click on the surfaces, you can see that there is a gap here. And what we also may notice is that the purple surface here, if I call this purple and this pink, no, let's change colors. Oops. So we can, yeah, we have a green and a blue. The green one right here is too short, and I would like that one to end right here at this intersection right here. Also, the blue one is too short here, so I want to bring that one up to the middle right here. So I'm going to do two things. The first thing is that I'm going to extend the green surface up to that point right there. And to do so, I use the Extend Merge tool. You can find that under Object Edit, Extend, and Options box, and make sure you have Extrapolate and Merge checked, and then go. So I click at the end of the surface I want to extend, like so. And then by using these arrows, I can actually extend or even shorten my surface. This method would have worked fine on the one that was too long that I showed you before. And this one I want to extend exactly up to this point here. So I'm gonna drag it slightly first and then use Control and Alt to snap it on to this curve right here. So I click on that curve, that brings my surface exactly up to that point. So half the job is done. Now I could have used extend on the other one as well, but I'm going to show you a different way of doing it to expand your toolbox a little bit. So if I then pick nothing, pick this surface right here and bring on the control vertices for that surface. And also for the one I just extended, like so. So I'm going to patch these two together using the CV points. So I pick nothing, and then I pick my first control vertex, which is right there, and then go move, and hit the control key to snap it onto a point, and click in the neighborhood of this CV point here. So control and move moves it exactly to that point. And I go on with the next one. I pick it, hit control, and click right here. And do that for all of my CV points. So, and now I have patched these two surfaces together using my control vertices. We can check now if we have destroyed any tangency or anything like that using the evaluate tool called continuity. And we can check for tangency by hitting the options box. Make sure I have tangent continuity checked and then go. So I can click on this edge right here, which seems fine. It wasn't affected by the fact that I extended it that tiny little bit there. You can check this edge here, and this edge here, and they all seem to have survived the operation. So that's 3 ways of fixing your rounds that may not have connected as they should. Let's get rid of the locators. Let's also get rid of the CV points. We have one little issue left to fix, which is the top surface. You can see it here. Somehow the trimming operation went wrong here. And what we need to do is actually to retrim this surface. And you don't need to be afraid of untrimming surfaces. You could always retrim them again. So I'm going to pick the surface and untrim it using the options box and all, and then go. Now, what this does is that it untrims the surface, plus it brings back my curves on surfaces used for the trimming operation. So if I go pick curve on surface and select the entire thing, you could barely see it, but right here is a curve on surface. I'm going to bring on the edit point so you can see it much clearer then. That was used for the trimming operation. And I can now retrim my surface by clicking trim, click on it, click on the part I want to keep, and go keep. And see what that did to it. Yes. Now we have the correct top surface trimmed here. Now, in some cases, it won't work for some reason. And then you manually need to bring back your curve on surface. So let's simulate that situation as well. So I'm gonna untrim the surface first, and then go pick curve on surface, and actually delete that one. So I click delete and recreate my curve on surface. And I do that similar to the situation we had over here. So I'm going to project this edge of my round all the way around here onto the top surface and then trim it. So I pick my surface like so, and then go project. Make sure I have the normal option checked in the options box here, and then start clicking on the edges. So that one, that one, that one, this one right here, this one, of course, this one here, and that one, and finally that one. And once I'm done with that, I can go project. I now again have a curve on surface on the top surface right here, which I can trim. Using the trim command, click in the big surface, the area I want to keep, and spacebar, like so. So if we take a look at this now, I think it's going to be correct. Get rid of the model and have a look at it. And we have a nice, smooth transition all the way around. I hope these tips and tricks will be helpful for you when doing your alias modeling. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.